Hello everyone and welcome to a new week of ranked racing in RaceRoom, and today we're back at Monza for the Porsche Carrera Cup. Now, we raced here a couple of weeks ago in the full GT3 class and we had really strong qualifying pace, but we just weren't able to carry that speed over into the race. So I'm going to be looking for a bit more consistency today if possible, because once again we've qualified decently. We're 7th on the grid with a time of 1:53.6. These Porsches are a different beast to the GT3 cars I drove a couple of weeks ago. They're really difficult to get stopped. I've been having big problems on the brakes, particularly with locking up. And when you throw Monza's tricky chicanes into the mix too, we know we're going to be in for a really tough race. Let's get over to the grid and see how we get on. So as we ready ourselves for the lights to go green, the first concern at Monza is always how we're going to fit 22 Porsches through this first chicane. Well, we've got away really well though. We've got a much better start than Volkers and Gonzalez in front of us, so we're up to 5th, but we're going to take a wide line into this first chicane. I just want to leave a bit of room in case anyone squeezes up the inside. It looks like Gonzalez has come back. We did get a little tap from Volkers behind, so that's 4 incident points on the board, but I'm not too worried about that. If you'd come up to me before the lights went green and told me that I'd be exiting that first chicane in 6th position with no damage and just 4 instant points, I would have snapped your hand off. So we're in a really strong position here. However, we were in a strong position in the GT3 race a couple of weeks ago, and it was this chicane here, Rogier, that caused my downfall. We're going to get through it okay this time, and we do run a little bit wide on exit, just kicking up a bit of gravel. That's going to cost us some exit speed. Meanwhile, in front, Gonzalez is going to try and go around the outside of Makowski through Lesmo. Has he got enough speed to make that pass stick? They're side by side into the second Lesmo turn, and now there's contact. It looked like Gonzalez in the pink PWT Porsche just had to get off the gas there. He was in danger of being run out onto the gravel, so he hasn't been able to take 4th position. And as we approach Ascari for the first time, it's Makowski 4th, Gonzalez 5th, I'm in 6th, but we're going to come under attack into the entrance to Ascari from Volkers. There's a bit of contact and Volkers has spun out. It looked from my rearview mirror like he came from way back to try and make that move up the inside. I don't know how heavy the contact was or if it was my fault. We'll have to go back and check out a replay in a minute, but for now we're holding on. We're still in 6th place as we approach the Parabolica to end lap 1. I really hoped that carnage behind might have given me a bit of breathing room, but it hasn't done. Jochen Turnstrom is within half a second in 7th, and Sven Rill is also within a second too, so it's really tight here as we approach the start-finish straight. And already it's looking like the front 5 might just have a little bit too much pace for me. Gonzalez in 5th has opened up a gap of more than 1.5 seconds in that first lap, so I might struggle to keep with him here. Instead, I've got to fend off an attack from Tarnstrom. He's going to tuck it up the inside. I'm going to give him space. Where is he? There he is! He spun off! I lost all sight of him there for a couple of seconds, both in my mirrors and on the radar, and that explains why he must have gone grass tracking. So somehow we're still in 6th position, and we've had to fend off 2 big attacks. First from Volkers on lap 1 and then from Tarnstrom. Unfortunately, both of them came to grief in attempting to pass me. We'll go back and check out the replay shortly, but now we've got more company. This time it's Sven Rill who's closed right up on us in that pink BWT Porsche behind. Well, we've just managed to open up a little bit of a gap now, so let's take a breather and check out the replays. Back to the grid then, and when the lights went green, we got away really well. Look how much better of a start we made than Volkers on the right. Volkers is the number 4, the green and grey car. We got past him, and we just about got past Gonzalez too, but I was on the outside line coming into this first chicane, so I was conscious of trying to leave as much space as I could. In the end, we did get tagged, and it was from Volkers there. It was just a little tap, but it was enough to give us 4 instant points. We can see it again, riding on board with Volkers. There's the gap, he goes for it, and there's the contact with the rear of my car. Thankfully, we both get away from it. No spins, and we escape the first chicane unscathed. Unfortunately, the same can't be said of Ascari. There's Volkers. He's already made 1 pass, and he tries to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and tuck it up the inside of me as well. Here we are riding on board. He pulls out of the slipstream, goes past 1 driver, tries to make a move up the inside. There's just no room, and there's the contact, and he does a 360. He really caught me out coming from so far back, because I think ideally I should have given him a bit more space. We can see again from the chopper cam, he's almost alongside me, and it's me that squeezes him out. So yeah, I probably should have given him a bit more space there. That was the first assault we had to deal with. The second one came at the start of lap 2, and that's Tarnstrom trying to tuck it up the inside into the first chicane, but he gets it all wrong, goes out onto the grass, loses control completely. He's made a complete mess of that one, and then even with the rejoin, he manages to tag someone, thankfully not causing too much damage, but rejoin him well down the order. Flat out towards the first chicane for the start of lap 3, and keep your eye on the rearview mirror because it looks like there might be a dive bomb incoming. That's Krzysztof Slazarski, who just couldn't get his car stopped. It looked like he pulled out of Sven Rill's slipstream and got caught out by the extra speed he was carrying. Thankfully, he managed to avoid running into the rear of my car, but he made up a lot of time on that runoff area. I'm guessing he's got to give the time back now. Yeah, there he is, and we've got past. Yeah, keep your eye on Slazarski. He's going to emerge from the slipstream of that pink BWT Porsche, but he's got no way of stopping it. Thankfully, he didn't collect me. He could have easily taken me with him too there. And yeah, that shortcut is going to earn you a big slowdown. And it looks like Rill got a much better exit. He's carrying far more speed, and he's going to have a look up the inside into Ascari. I'm going to have to give him space. Will he run it in a bit too deep? He does do, but he's managed to seal the line. There's no way around him unless I can get a faster exit. I get on the gas a bit too early, and we clip that inside curb. That's cost us a valuable tenth or two, and it's invited Slazarski alongside us as well. In fact, he's more than alongside us. He's past us. He's carrying a lot of extra speed on the approach to the parabolic. So in the space of a couple of turns, we've dropped from 6th to 8th. But Rill's run really wide in the Parabolica. Have we got enough room to tuck it up the inside? We've surely got the speed. But Rill closes the door, so we're going to have to switch to the outside. Rill's going defensive. Have we got the pace to get alongside? It doesn't look like we have. I think we just lost our momentum when we switched lines, so we're going to have to tuck back in behind Rill here. I really don't fancy trying to move up the inside into the chicane, so we're just going to sit back and look at Slazarski. He's taking the same route as last time. Meanwhile, we've got to defend from Norbert Namath, who had a sniff up the inside, and it looks like there's another driver who's taken the shortcut, and he's charged away. Yeah, we've definitely lost another position there. We're down to 9th, and from the looks of the leaderboard, I'm guessing it's Folkers who took the shortcut because he's in 6th position. He was in 12th at the end of the last lap, so he's gained 6 places. And unfortunately, unlike the last lap, we're not going to be able to take advantage of Slazarski's slowdown penalty this time. It looks like he served it, and we've not been able to get back around him, so we're down to 9th. But what sort of a time penalty is Folkers going to get? Because that was a crazy shortcut he took. And I can see him in the foreground now, Folkers. He's in 6th place as we work our way around Lesmo, but he's got Rill and Slazarski behind him too. He's surely going to have to give some time back. Now the question is, can all three of us get by him? Yes, he's pulling over, so let's try our best to get up the inside of him before we reach Ascari. And we've managed to do it, so we've got that 8th place back, but it might not be for long because Norbert Namath is going to make a move up the inside into Ascari. I was so busy concentrating on Folkers that I didn't even see Namath in my rearview mirror coming out of nowhere, so he's taken that 8th position now. We're back down to 9th. Oh, we were looking really good in a top 6 position a couple of laps ago, but we've surrendered 3 places, but it's not over yet. Looking at the leaderboard, Rill is currently in 6th place, and he's only 2 seconds further ahead, so it's all to play for here at Monza. We're about halfway through the race. Yeah, let's just take another look at Folkers' shortcut, and he's in 12th position at this point as we see a big wreck in the background, but Folkers just outbrakes himself and at that point decides to make the best of a bad job and gun it. So we're sticking to within half a second of Namath as we head to Rogier, but for the first time in the race we're going to get a big lock up of the brakes. We missed the entry into the chicane, get it all wrong right over the curbs. It's cost us a lot of time. Namath's cleared off and now we're in a lot of trouble because the chasing pack are going to pounce. There's very little room, we get squeezed out. There's a bit of contact between me and Filimonov. Oh, that could have been so much worse because I wasn't in control of the car there. Thankfully the contact wasn't heavier because it could have ended ended in disaster, but there's cars all over the place kicking up clouds of dust. Now we're back on Filimonov's tail. We've certainly got the pace to get alongside him, but we're on the outside, so I'm not sure how successful this is going to be. We can at least get alongside him on the approach to Ascari, but in the end we're going to lock up the brakes again, and that's going to send us into the gravel. Trying to rejoin. Oh, it's getting really messy. The car's out of control. We managed to avoid everyone but it's a complete disaster. And in the space of half a lap, a couple of big mistakes have ruined this race for us. We've gone from 9th down to 15th. And Ascari was a huge mess. I was wrestling so hard to keep the car in a straight line, and thankfully we didn't collect anyone else. Although we may get one position back here because Daniel Vernical has spun in the Parabolica, so we do get promoted back to 14th. The smallest of consolations after an absolutely disastrous lap. Let's go back and check out the replay. We can see where it all went wrong. Yeah, if you watched the video of my GT3 race at Monza a couple of weeks ago, you know that the Roger chicane caused me all kinds of problems, and it was my downfall again here. A lock-up of the brakes put us on completely the wrong line, compromised all our exit speed, and now we're 4 wide going into Lesmo. But because I was so down on speed, it was me that got squeezed out. Thankfully, the contact wasn't worse than it was, and then on the charge down to Ascari, I got alongside Filimonov, but I was on the outside, and then once again, we lock up the brakes. It completely compromises my entry into the chicane. You can see there, I'm out on the gravel, trying to keep the car straight. There's more contact with Filimonov. I'm all out of shape. I'm going to end up in the gravel on the other side of the chicane and can do nothing as I see all the cars blast by. And at this point, we're as far back as 15th place, although we do get one of those positions back as Vernical spins out. We're going to rejoin the live action with a couple of minutes to go. We've managed to settle ourselves down and hold on to this 14th place, but then we're going to make another mistake into Rogia. Not quite as bad this time, but we run in a little bit hot. You can see someone else has been there on the outside, so momentarily we're going to take 13th, but not for long, because Tarnstrom had a much smoother exit out of Rogia, and he's going to make a move up the inside going into Lesmo. There's contact as I try and defend. It nudges me out a little bit wide. 4 more instant points from the troubles, and we're back down to 14th. Tarnstrom gets up to 13th. We're on the approach to the Parabolica for what might be the penultimate time, and we've certainly got more pace than Tarnstrom, but have we got enough pace to get alongside him and make a move up the inside into the Parabolica? No, we haven't, so we're going to have to tap back in behind. Will he run wide though? If he does, we're going to be there to pounce. He's not though, he's holding the defensive tight line on the inside. We run it a bit wide on exit. That's going to cost us a 10th or 2. And I suspect that this will be the last lap. We've only got 1 minute 15 left on the clock. I don't think the leaders are far enough ahead to get another lap in. So if we're going to salvage anything from this race, we're going to have to do it on this next lap. Tarnstrom clearly took a better line through that chicane there. He's got a lot more speed on exit. That's going to give him a little bit of breathing room because we had got right close in behind him. But Roger chicane is next up, so it's imperative that we take this one okay this time. No locking up of the brakes, please. Let's try and be as smooth as we can. There's a little puff of dust up ahead. Have we lost someone? We take a little bit of the curb. Yes, we have. There's a pink BWT car that spun out, so we've gained 1 position back. That was Sue Andrus by the looks of it, who was in 11th, so we're up to 13th. Andrus has dropped back to 15th. We're still in hot pursuit of Tarnstrom. Can we do anything in this last half a lap? And there's another dust storm brewing up ahead by the looks of it. That's another driver who's run wide. Dennis Glock has rejoined, but the sand has sapped all his power, so we're up to 12th position, and now we're chasing 11th. We could still yet salvage an 11th place from this race. Just need to get as close to Tarnstrom as possible through Ascari. The checkered flag is out, so let's do everything we can to get a fast exit. We've done exactly that. We've got loads more pace than Tarnstrom. He moves to the inside. He's going to take the defensive line, but surely we've got the speed to get alongside him. We're half a car length ahead. Can we win the race to the Parabolica? I don't think we're far enough ahead to cut off this tight line, so we're going to have to leave it a bit wider. There's contact. Tarnstrom wasn't able to hit the apex. He's run me out wide. We're going to switch back and try the inside move up the charge to the start and finish line, but I don't think we've got the pace. The contact just killed our momentum. We'll try to use every bit of draft that we can from Tarnstrom, but ultimately I don't think it's going to be enough, and we cross the line, having to settle for 12th place. What a race at Monza. Well, let's catch our breath and watch some of the highlights from those last couple of laps, and we gained a few positions in the end. The first of them was Filimonev. He spun out on the exit of Rogier, so that gave us one position back, but that didn't last for too long, mainly because my exit from the same chicane was so bad. You can see me running in a little bit hot there. Tarnstrom behind gets a much better line, pulls alongside. There you can see Filimonev spinning around in the background, but Tarnstrom gets the inside line into Lesmo. There's a little bit of contact, and that forces me to just ease off the gas so I didn't run out onto the gravel, but that gives Tarnstrom the position. We then gained 2 more places on the last lap, the first of which happened at Rogier again. This is Andrus just getting on the gas a bit too soon and losing the rear on the exit of the chicane, and then we saw Dennis Gluck just running in too hot into Lesmo and taking it out onto the gravel. That put us up to 12th, and I thought at this point we had 11th because we clearly had the pace over Tarnstrom, and we got half a car length ahead, but watch Tarnstrom on the inside. He's just not able to keep to that inside line, drifts out wide, which pushes me out even wider. And as a result of the contact, I just lost the momentum that I needed to launch an attack on the start and finish straight. We tried, we really tried. I almost pulled alongside him there, but ultimately it wasn't to be. So yeah, a little bit disappointing in the end, having to settle for 12th place as we call up the classified results, because we had such an encouraging qualifying session, and in the early stages of the race we were in a solid 6th position and looking quite comfortable, but then unfortunately the mistakes came. We saw it in the GT3 race at Monza a couple of weeks ago, and we've seen it again today. My qualifying and hot lap pace is really improving as of late, but I've just now got to find a way of bringing that consistency and speed into the race, because there was definitely a top 6 finish on offer there if I'd just been a bit smoother. But that's it from Monza for now. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you all have good races this weekend. Cheers, guys.